Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the April Rental League race here at Dallas Karting Complex. Now we're just getting out of the pits here, and clearly I was not ready. I'm still putting on my gloves, not being able to warm up my tires to their full potential, so if I don't win this race, it all stems from this. But putting on my trademark pink gloves, if you don't know where I am on track, just look for the pink gloves. That'll help guide you. But enough about the gloves, let's get into this race. We're starting in 8th place out of 20 people. It's a 5-lap race. Trying to get a fist bump here from that guy. That guy, I can't remember his name, but he's the one-handed wonder, driving with only one hand. Kudos to him, that's not easy. But we're starting this race in 8th. We've got the outside for the start of the race, so my plan for the start of this race is to get on the inside as quick as possible because it's very valuable. So we're rounding out the last corner here. Flagman waves green, we're good to go. The inside gets a pretty bad start, and so we very easily go up the inside. Start at 8th, already up into 6th place here. Gonna try and hold the inside as much as possible. The first couple of corners in this race are right-handers, so I want to be on the right-hand side. Kart 27 here, he's gonna outbrake himself here, and he's gonna spin on the apex, and so we're going to gain a position there, up into 5th. Someone on my left here goes out a little wide, and so we're going to get a better run coming out of the corner, move up into 4th place. And within the first couple corners, we've gained 4 positions, so not too bad. Now, some of you keen-eyed viewers have spotted some puddles on the side of the track. If I remember correctly, it either rained the day before this race or earlier this day, but it did rain recently, and so the track is a little bit slippery. This track is usually really gripped up, but this track is a little bit greasy. You can see sliding through some of the corners here, so really having to get the kart to rotate, very difficult, and sometimes the kart will over-rotate. So trying to find the grip is very hard, and also whenever someone goes off track, they're going to bring mud onto the track, and it just makes everyone's life a little bit more difficult here. So for time's sake, we're going to skip one lap. We're on lap 3 now instead of lap 2. We're just going to skip lap 2. Nothing really happened then. And you can see the people in front have kind of pulled away from me a little bit. Not too much. I'm still here. And so it's not over yet. The guy in second, he goes out a little wide. Kind of messes up that corner right there. And so the guy in third tries to go for the move. Heavy defending going into this left-hander right here. And so I'm just going to take the line normally. Just kind of prioritize the exit here. They're really fighting a lot here. And so the two kind of wash out to the left here. I'm just going to go to the right. Pass them both and kind of a through goes Hamilton moment right here. I bet you Crofty would be screaming his head off as I do the double overtake. And so I didn't really lose too much time passing the two, and they lose a lot of time fighting with each other. And so we went from 4th to 2nd in one corner right there. We're going to try and catch up to the guy in front. We do have to watch out from the two behind. We saw just how aggressive they get whenever they're trying to pass each other. So I don't want to get caught up in that. Hopefully they continue to fight. We try and catch up into 1st place. Now, fortunately, the two behind did continue to fight, and so we're going to skip ahead to lap 7 here, end of lap 7. We're about to start the last lap here. We did catch up to the guy in first, and so we're going to try our best to pass him. We're still not quite on his bumper, so it's going to be a bit of a late move if we do it from here. One thing to note is that there is someone behind me. He, I think, was one of the two that was fighting from behind. I think he was able to pull away. And so he is behind me, so I kind of have to be careful here. I either go for the move in front of me, or if I can't, I have to defend from behind. But looking in front of us, we see Kart 29 going kind of defensive here. Not that much defensive, but a little bit. And that kind of messes up his exit. I wasn't ever going to go for that move. I wasn't really that close. And so that puts me right on his bumper here. And so he's going to go defensive here. I'm going to try and take the normal line right here. I think the back end gets away from me right here on the apex, and so I kind of lose the momentum coming out of the corner. And so now I'm looking behind me because there is someone behind me. I don't want them to pass me. And I'm in this point in the race where I either am going to go forward or I'm going to go backwards. I need to figure that out. Kart 29 going defensive here. Again, doesn't have to. And then going through the last corner right here, I decide I can't go for the move on kart number 29, so I'm going to have to go defensive on the guy behind. And so going right here, I go defensive, take the narrow line of the last corner right here, just making sure no one dives up the inside. And we're going to take 2nd place. You can see the guy in 3rd right there. So I think, in my opinion, that was the correct thing to do. I wasn't quite close enough to go for the move on 29. So we're going to skip ahead to the final race here, starting in second place, because for those of you who don't know, wherever you finish in the pre-final, that's where you start in the final. So we're starting in second. We're on the outside. As we saw in the pre-final, the inside is the place to be when starting this race. So I want to try and get on the inside as fast as possible and try not to lose very many positions here. But we're rounding out the last corner right here, waiting for the flagman to wave green. Flagman waves green, we're good to go, and you can see just how bad of a start I get. The guy behind me did not push me. Usually at race starts like this, the guy behind you will push you. Guy behind me did not push me, and you can see we lose about 3 positions here at the start. Cart number 15, that's my friend Bryce. I want to get in front of him. Don't want him finishing in front of me. And you see, it's not over yet. People are still trying to dive up my inside, but right here we have the inside finally. So we're going to follow Bryce on cart number 2 right here, try and get some positions back. And so we're going to move up into 4th place here, struggling to hit the apex right there. We were offline, so it was a little tough to find the grip. Like I said, in the pre-final, not a lot of grip. Same for the final, not the most amount of grip. We can see Bryce up ahead, diving up the inside, going into the carousel here. I want to try and follow him. I'm not quite close enough to follow him. They're going side by side through these corners right here. Bryce being very aggressive at the start here. So I'm going to try my best to follow him. I do have someone behind me. You can see right here, not taking the apex because there is someone there. Again, Bryce in cart number 18 going very aggressive at the start right here. I'm going to try and follow Bryce. He seems to be in a fast cart. You can see right here, getting a pretty good run coming out of the corners right there. One thing I notice about my cart, not that good with the bottom end, pretty decent top end, but some of the lower speed corners not really doing too well. Right here, going for the move on cart number 18 right here. Not quite happening. I did have the inside, but he was able to hold it around the outside. And like I said, bottom end, not the best on this cart, and so he's able to kind of pull from me coming out of the corners. And then going through this left-hander right here, you can see me kind of hacking at the steering wheel, just trying to find the grip, and it just wasn't happening for me. I just could not find it, and you can see the 2 in front really pulling on me coming out of that corner. I will say that long left back there is my kryptonite. It's probably the worst corner of the lap for me, and you can see just how much time I lose there. Throughout the race, I was getting better and better. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at this track. I don't really have a whole lot of laps around this track, but that corner definitely gets me every time. Now, at this point in the race, people have kind of started to settle down now. There's not as much fighting. So we're going to skip ahead to lap 5 right here. And you can see the 3 in front have kind of pulled on me just a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm still here. And you can see that we're getting some deja vu right here. They're going all sorts of defensive and fighting right here. You can see Bryce, he's the only non-white helmet up ahead, looking for moves on people. And so they're going side by side through these couple of corners. This is really bringing me closer and closer to them. And you can see they're going to go side by side through the carousel right here. And that's going to bring me real close. Bryce is going to get the over-under on cart number 18. And so I'm right here. Bryce kind of actually pushes him out a little wide right here. And so he's going to have dirty tires. And so I'm thinking I probably should pounce on this while he's got dirty tires. And so I'm going to prioritize the exit here. And then the entry to the last corner right here, I'm going to send it up the inside. Get a little bit of understeer right here. Kind of accidentally push him out a little wide right there. Say sorry. But I'm going to have the inside for these next couple of corners right here. And so that's going to allow us to move up into 3rd place. So once again, like we saw in the pre-final, benefiting from the people in front fighting. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't have that much pace this race. I felt like I was the slow one of the group. But if I stay consistent, as we see Bryce dipping a wheel on the exit there, maybe I can pounce on Bryce. But like I was saying, if I just stay consistent and just be close enough, the people in front will fight, and I can just capitalize on that. And so we're right behind Bryce now because he made that mistake earlier. Like I said, I've got the top end here. Kind of not wanting to fight too much right now. We are halfway through the race. I don't like fighting this much halfway through the race. Usually at the beginning or end is when I usually like to fight the most. And so just trying to keep things a little more calm. Maybe try and catch up to the guy in first. We were able to catch up to first place briefly there, and so maybe we can do it again. I do have cart 18 right behind me, and so I do need to watch out for that. As we can see right there, he was on my inside going through that last corner right there. But like I mentioned at the start of this race, my kart's top end was pretty decent. You can see I am gaining on Bryce up ahead, and it's also allowing me to stay in front of kart 18 from behind. So at least I have a decent kart. That's the only thing I got going for me right now. You see Bryce is still kind of making mistakes right there. He's kind of extending the apex. That one's not that bad of a mistake. Sometimes it is okay to kind of extend the apex, but you can see he is getting a little sideways through this corner right here, kind of drifting it, and that is because his tires were probably a little dirty, as we did see him go through the dirt. We are right behind him, and like I said, I'm trying to keep things a little more calm right here. Honestly, looking back on this race, I should have pounced right here. I should have went for the move. You can see he's going drifting mode through the carousel, through this chicane right here. This is probably another one of my weaker corners, but right here, gaining on Bryce in front. And not to mention, I still have kart 18 from behind, and he is always poking in his nose by and letting me know that he's there. But right here, we're right behind Bryce now. We get a good run. We're bump drafting him, but I don't think he thought we could catch up to first, because he does start going defensive here and there. Not right here. He's not going defensive here. He knows I'm not going to pass him right here. But exit of this corner, going into this long left-hander up ahead, he is going to go slightly defensive. And not going to lie, this does kind of annoy me because I'm not going to go for the move. I want to catch up to the guy in front, but he just wants to maintain his position. And so that's just going to kind of slow us all down right here. You see Bryce going off track again. I tried pointing forward, just letting him know, like, hey, I don't want to pass you. I want to, like, just work together and just, you know, pull away from people or catch up to the guy in front. Now, like I said, looking back on this in hindsight, definitely should have tried to attack Bryce here. You see here, again, making a little bit of a mistake right there. But going through this left-hander right here, the guy from behind, he's going to poke his nose through. And so that's going to really slow me down. We're going side by side through this corner right here. He's on the outside. I have the inside. And this is going to allow Bryce to kind of pull a bit of a gap on me. And the guy behind me, kart 18, he's on my right going through this corner right here. And so a couple corners of side by side right here, that definitely slows us down. And what it does is it gives Bryce some breathing room right now. So now he doesn't have to really worry about me, and we're not putting pressure on him to force him into more mistakes. And so this is going to allow him to just kind of just relax and just focus on his race and try and catch up to the guy in front rather than worrying about me passing him. Now, unfortunately, Bryce was able to be very consistent throughout this race, and he was able to pull a bit of a gap on me. We skip ahead to the last lap right here. We're lap 12 of 12. The guy from behind, kart 18, I don't know what happened to him, but he was no longer the guy behind me. There was a new player behind me, and he was keeping the pressure on me. He was quick, and so I was trying everything in my ability to stay in front of him. And this is the last lap here. He's right on my bumper. And so going through these last couple of corners right here, I'm going to go semi-defensive right here. I look behind me, just making sure where he is. Semi-defensive, and then through the last corner right here, I'm just going to go all the way to the right-hand side, park it on the apex, so I'm forcing him around the outside. And it's going to be a photo finish right here. And we, luckily, are able to take third place. So good racing right there, making it interesting all the way to the end. Really enjoyed it. Love the pre-final and final. Just wish I had a little bit more pace on this day. I felt like I could have been a little bit faster, but all in all, that's all I have for today. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please do comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.